Have you ever heard of a love story that was decided on the racetrack? Forget swiping right, we're going back to ancient Greece, to a time of gods, heroes, and epic challenges. Today, we're diving into the thrilling tale of Atalanta, the huntress who was faster than any man, and the race that would decide her fate. This isn't just a story about speed, it's a story about wit, divine intervention, and the surprising ways love can win. So, lace up your running sandals, because this is a sprint you won't want to miss. In the heart of ancient Arcadia, a land of dense forests and wild mountains, lived a woman unlike any other. Her name was Atalanta. Abandoned as a baby and raised by a she-bear, she grew up under the watchful eye of the goddess Artemis. She became a huntress of legendary skill, her arrow always true, her spirit as untamed as the wilderness she called home. She was a hero in her own right, one of the famed Argonauts who sailed with Jason in search of the Golden Fleece. Atalanta was strong, independent, and fiercely protective of her freedom. When her long-lost father, the king, finally found her, he insisted she do what was expected of a princess, get married. But Atalanta had no interest in being a conventional wife. She valued her independence far too much. So she devised a plan, a challenge she was certain no one could win. She declared, "I will marry any man who can best me in a foot race, but be warned," she added with a glint in her eye, "any who try and fail will meet a swift end." It was a deadly proposition, but the allure of winning the hand of the incredible Atalanta was too great for many to resist. Suitor after suitor, prince after hero, they all lined up, confident in their speed. And one by one they all fell, left in the dust by the lightning-fast huntress. It seemed no one was destined to win her hand. Among the crowd watching one of these fateful races was a young man named Hippomenes. He was a great-grandson of Poseidon, the god of the sea, and he was completely captivated. He didn't see a fearsome competitor, he saw a radiant, powerful woman, and he fell deeply in love. But Hippomenes was also wise. He knew he couldn't beat Atalanta on speed alone. He needed an edge, something extraordinary. So he did what any clever Greek hero would do. He prayed to the gods for help. He directed his plea to Aphrodite, the goddess of love herself. He explained his predicament, his voice filled with genuine passion for Atalanta. "Oh, glorious Aphrodite," he begged, "I don't seek to conquer her, but to join her. Help me win the heart of the woman I love." Aphrodite, who had a soft spot for true love and was perhaps a little annoyed by Atalanta's rejection of it, was moved. She decided to help the young man. She flew to her sacred garden on the island of Cyprus and plucked 3 magnificent, gleaming golden apples. These were no ordinary fruits. They were impossibly beautiful, heavy, and radiated a divine light that could distract anyone. Aphrodite gave them to Hippomenes with a simple instruction: use these wisely during the race. They are your only hope. The day of the race arrived. The sun beat down on the track. Atalanta stood at the starting line, confident as ever. Beside her, Hippomenes clutched the 3 golden apples, their weight a reminder of the divine favor he carried. The starting signal was given, and they were off. As expected, Atalanta immediately surged ahead, her feet barely seeming to touch the ground. She was a blur of motion, graceful and impossibly fast. Hippomenes was already falling behind. Just as it seemed his fate was sealed, he remembered Aphrodite's gift. He took a deep breath and rolled the first golden apple across the track, just ahead of Atalanta. The apple glinted in the sunlight, a perfect sphere of shimmering gold. It was irresistible. Atalanta, despite herself, was mesmerized. She had never seen anything so beautiful. She hesitated, then broke her stride, stooping to pick up the glittering prize. That momentary distraction was all Hippomenes needed. He surged past her, taking the lead for the first time. But Atalanta was not a champion for nothing. Cradling the apple, she quickly regained her focus and accelerated, her powerful legs eating up the distance between them. In moments, she had overtaken him again, her lead growing with every stride. Hippomenes could hear the roar of the crowd and feel the wind as Atalanta pulled further away. It was time for the second apple. With all his might, he threw it further off to the side of the track. Once again, the apple's divine beauty worked its magic. Atalanta saw it veer away, and the temptation was too great. She swerved from her path, running to retrieve the second golden treasure. The detour cost her precious seconds. Hippomenes, panting, his lungs burning, pushed himself to the limit and once again found himself in the lead. The finish line was getting closer, but so was Atalanta. She was now running with a fiery determination, angry at herself for being distracted. She closed the gap with frightening speed. Hippomenes could hear her footsteps right behind him. The finish line was in sight, but he knew he couldn't hold her off. He had one last chance. With a final prayer to Aphrodite, he used all his remaining strength to hurl the third and final golden apple as far as he could off the track. This time, Atalanta fought the urge. She saw the finish line, so close, but the allure of the third apple, gleaming like a tiny sun in the grass, was overwhelming. She glanced at the finish line, then at the apple. The conflict was visible on her face. In a split second, she made her choice. She veered off course, her desire for the beautiful object overpowering her will to win. That final, crucial hesitation gave Hippomenes the opening he needed. He stumbled across the finish line, collapsing from exhaustion, just a heartbeat before Atalanta. He had won the race, and he had won the hand of Atalanta. So what does this ancient story really tell us? On the surface, it's an exciting tale of a race for love. But if we dig a little deeper, it's about much more. Atalanta represents independence and self-sufficiency. She sets an impossible standard because she believes no one is her equal. She controls her own destiny. Hippomenes, on the other hand, represents the idea that you can't always win through brute force or pure talent alone. He understands his limitations and isn't afraid to seek help. His victory isn't just about speed, it's about strategy, humility, and recognizing the power of love, represented by Aphrodite. The golden apples are the key. They symbolize distractions, beauty, and desire, the very things that can divert us from our goals. Atalanta, the unbeatable champion, is ultimately defeated not by a faster runner, but by her own curiosity and desire for these beautiful objects. The myth suggests that even the strongest and most independent among us can be swayed by love and beauty. It teaches us that sometimes winning isn't about being the fastest or the strongest, but about being the smartest and understanding the hearts of others. It's a timeless reminder that love, in its own clever way, always finds a way to win the race. Thank you so much for joining me on this mythological journey today. If you enjoyed this story and want to explore more fascinating myths from around the world, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us bring more of these ancient tales to life. Drop a comment below and let me know which myth you want to see next. Until then, stay curious.